Hello everyone, welcome to this video in which I want to try out some gear. The problem nowadays is that I'm traveling a lot and I'll be traveling for a month very soon, and it's very difficult to make videos while I'm on the road because to bring all the gear and to set everything up. So I want to try to just make a video with my smartphone, and I have a very good smartphone, but of course I have to use the front-facing camera, which is not the best camera. But I think it might work. And if this works, then I can keep making videos while I'm traveling, which is probably the best thing to do for my YouTube channel. So this video is going to be about some really cool chord voicings I've just transcribed from a video that was in my recommended videos on YouTube. And so I can talk to you like this while facing the camera, and then I can swivel the camera down for the guitar. And I've tried to create some circumstances with not very good lighting to see if the quality is okay. And of course I'll be using the microphone just of my phone, so who knows. And I have another smartphone which I can use a metronome app, because of course I can bring my looper and stuff, so then I can use a metronome as my backing. Anyway, I got this video recommended to me, which is a duet played with saxophone and guitar, and the guitar player is Mike Moreno, and they're playing on Green Dolphin Street. And it's very interesting to see how Mike Moreno is comping on his own, and it's great to transcribe. I've transcribed a lot of the comping, and I've transcribed some of that before, and I have compiled a list of interesting things that you could use on the Gypsy Jazz guitar, inside Gypsy Jazz, mainly as the solo player, as the lead player in your own solos, or maybe comping a violin player. So then there is a rhythm guitar playing just straight rhythm, and then you're playing these voicings on top of it. So let's just start with the first one. I've transposed everything to the key of G. So the first one is a 2-5-1 in the key of G, talking about A minor, D7, G. Yeah. So there will still be tab on the screen. I can still do that while editing. So the first 2-5-1 sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, Mike Moreno is playing everything with his thumb and fingers, so sometimes what he plays is not very easy to play with a pick, but this 2-5-1 is perfect. Now the thing to remember is that one of the things that Mike Moreno is doing all the time is paying a lot of attention to the voice leading. So important note to emphasize in this progression is the top note, because you'll be hearing this. 3, 4. So it's just a G major scale starting on the C and then going up to an A. Right, the top note. And I don't want to go too much into the theory of all these chords. Just know that you can play this on a 2-5-1 in G. And I'm playing everything on the beat. Which he's also doing in the video. But of course, if you are inside a band with a rhythm guitar player, you can be more free. You can play maybe 3, 4. Something like this. So let me play it once with the metronome. And now I'll be putting the metronome on 2 and 4 for a nice swing feel. So I'll play it first, I'll play it on the beat, and then I'll play it several times a little bit more free. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Very cool. Okay, the next one starts the same, but then we get so now the melody becomes so it's almost a G scale. There's one chromatic note, the F. So the first three voicings are the same. Then he plays to this voicing, which is one of his favorite voicings for a major 7 chord. And then he lets go his first finger and goes to, while the other notes keep ringing. So you get this F sharp and G at the same time. Now later on in the video he plays from to this voicing, which is not in the tab. So this would be 9, 11, 8 on the D, G and B string. But actually, well, it's nice. I prefer the with these notes ringing. So let me play that with a metronome a couple of times. Okay, so how would that sound when you play a song? For instance, you're playing a little bit good. G, C7. That sounds great. So the other one. Okay, the next one, the third one, is a high one, and the voicings sound like this. So the voice leading, the top voice is, sorry. You gotta hear those notes. So you gotta be very precise with your picking. Okay, let me play that with the metronome on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So I was shifting the chord. You can always shift the chords around on the guitar neck, that's easiest to do. Okay, the next one starts the same, first two chords, and then we get this. It's pretty standard, maybe you already knew this. I like the voice leading. Again, so it's not important what the quality of these chords are, the names of these chords. It's just something you can play over 2-5-1. And even if you listen to the video, Mike Moreno is just trying to create nice voice leading. He's not trying to listen to the saxophone player to see which extensions he's playing. They're trying to, or he's trying to create forward motion in the chords, and that's the most important thing. Okay, let's play that with the metronome. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So even when I'm free, I'm really trying to hammer home this melody. So even if I play, I still hear the basic melody in my head. That's important. Okay, so the next one is more about one specific voicing. It's this voicing. It's a great voicing for G chord. You could also use it for E-7, by the way, but now it's for G. So it's the top 3 strings, 11, 8, 10. G, or F sharp, G, D. And maybe you already knew this voicing, which is 4 notes and there was a B added. But actually, Mike Moreno is playing like this, and I like it. There's no third in it. It makes it sound more special. So he plays that a couple of times, and I've created the 2-5-1 with some nice voicings that fit with it, which are in the tab like this. So you get this as the melody. Let's play that with the metronome. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Great, and the next one is also about a specific voicing. It's about this voicing, which I actually don't think he plays in that video, but I got it from another Mike Moreno video, which he uses for D7. It's great, it's just an A flat triad with a D on top. Sounds great over D7. So I create another 2-5-1 around it, like this. The voicing is difficult to play this high. My fingers are too big. I could probably play it like this. You know what? Let's play this 2-5-1 lower, so it's easier to play. So we play it in D. And then we go to... That's another voicing I got from... Maybe I got it from Mike Moreno, I'm not sure, but it's a voicing I added. So we get E minor, A7, D-7. Okay, let's play that with the metronome. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try it in G once. 1, 2, 3. Now I played this G-7 voicing, followed by the... So of course you can combine everything. You can combine all these 2-5-1s together. That's your job to be that creative. But if you just play them like in the tab, they already sound nice. Okay, so the next chords are 4 chords that you can play over a G in succession, and they sound like this. So just G6 or G-7. So another 2-5, and they sound like this. And it's pretty modern sounding. You gotta find a spot to use it because the first chord, for example, has no third, but it does have the C. So it creates Gmaj7sus4 chord, which is not very common. But it still would fit over a G chord, just used with care. Then some fourth voicings. And he he plays it with his pinky, so he keeps his pinky on the B string. But of course you could play, if you want to, with the second finger. And then the final voicing has a C sharp, so there would be a sharp 11. But that's not really important. Those voicings just sound nice in succession. So let's say you're playing Little Good, which is maybe very far out of the style, but let's try it. You see, it would still work. It's an unusual sound, but might be nice sometimes. And then I have three chords for E minor, which are sound like this. I really like the last chord, which is F sharp G E, and the first two are just standard fourths voicings that you could use for a minor chord. Now, the nice thing about this last voicing, you could move the top voice down a whole step, down a half step. I'm not sure he does it in the video, but you could still do that. Let's say you have a song in E minor. Maybe you're playing Dinah, and the bridge goes to E minor, right? It's basically all E minor. You could play. But just for when you have an E minor chord for a short time, you could play these three voicings. Not necessary to play with a backing track. Okay, then I have, so in Green Dolman Street, if you play it in E flat, you get this G minor, G minor, C7, F minor, E flat, E flat. So if you would translate that to G, you'd get B minor, E7, A minor, E7, G. Which is something that happens mostly in jazz standards, not so much in gypsy jazz, but for instance, it happens in How High the Moon, right? So you have the end. Second time, G minor, C7, F minor. Now, so there, Mike Moreno plays this. On those four chords. B minor. And after that you could go to a G chord, of course, but actually he goes to this chord, which would be a D sus chord with a flat 9. Or you could think of it as C minor with a D in the bass. And why does he play that? Because it's the end of the chorus and he wants to go back to the beginning. So instead of resolving to the 1, he just immediately plays the 5 to create motion towards the first beat of the next chorus. So you get. And then we're on G again. Maybe this is nice to play with a metronome. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Great, and then I have my final chords for E minor, and it has a specific rhythm, so it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is just a G triad, so it makes E minor 7, but then this is the thing. Right, so it's very specific, you have to play it like this. First 3 notes, again 3 notes, now 4 notes, and now 1 note. Because if you do the whole chord again, it's just not as nice as just playing that 1 note. Of course, you could just play the second bar and make them, let's say you have 2 bars for E minor, like here, you could just make every chord 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or be free. Let's play this written with the metronome. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not easy to play. Let's play just every chord 2 beats of the second bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's much easier. This stretch is quite uncomfortable, you will see, to play it, but if you practice it, you will probably get it. Just transcribed it today, so for me it's also new, but a beautiful progression. So let's swivel the camera back up and focus on my face. Those were the progressions. I think they're very usable in gypsy jazz, but of course normal jazz too, depends on what you play. I'll be using them all the time, I think. And if you combine them with the earlier videos I made about chords, which I will link in the description, you've got a huge arsenal of nice chords to play, and you can combine everything. But I think the strength of these progressions in particular are the voice leading, the melody voice, or the top voice, which moves in a melodic way. Okay, this concludes this experiment. I hope these videos are watchable. I'll be judging that myself while I'm editing, but if this is watchable, please let me know. That means I can keep making videos on the road, which is what I want to do, of course. Okay, I see you next time. Bye.